With this note, I wish you all a very good afternoon. And we have Miss Bhavna with us. She's an educator, teacher, author, editor. She's having experience of more than 9 years. So, ma'am, the platform is all yours now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Vaishali ma'am. A very good afternoon to all the participants out there. My name is Bhavna, as already introduced by Vaishali ma'am, and I am into the education field for 9+ years. Like I have been taking special classes, I have been writing books, and I have been editing them as well. And right now, I'm working as a educator or a master teacher in one of the edtech company you might know by the name of Vedantu. Now, talking about today's session, let's begin without wasting any more time. A very warm welcome to everyone. So, today's session is all about what is term 2 having for us, like what is hidden in it, and how we can decode it. Is there anything that we need to figure on? So, I hope language with English is everybody is comfortable. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat if everybody is comfortable with English. If you want me, I can convert it into English, which is the new era language we all use. So everybody who are okay with it, please let me know in the chat box that everybody who are comfortable with English will continue with English itself. Otherwise, we will take it as English. Okay, so English will do. ठीक है, तो हिंदी और इंग्लिश मिक्स कर लेते हैं. वही हमारी आज की लैंग्वेज आई गेस. लेट्स डू दैट. So right, fine. So let's start. For all the questions, if I'm seeing any hands up, right now, please hold your questions for some time because at least let us start with the session and see where we have going. And if there are any doubts, we will have some time at the end where we can discuss the doubts as well. So let's keep it for that. पंजाबी थोड़ा ज्यादा हो जाएगा, आती तो वो भी है, but उतने पे नहीं जाते. ठीक है? Let's take a communication mode which is comfortable for all. Okay? Thank you very much for that. Okay, so everybody, let's start with this. As already been done, introduce that my name is Bhavna and I have been teaching like for many years, and thus that experience brings a lot of things कि कहाँ पे लूप होल्स होते हैं, कहाँ पर हमें ध्यान देना होता है. तो टर्म 2 के लिए हमें वो कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है सीबीएसई के लिए, that is what we are going to do. And especially for students, if they are joining with us, we are going to have some special tips and quick revision points as well for term 2 examination. Right? So स्टार्टिंग क्या फ्लो होने वाला है हमारे पूरे सेशन का. तो हमारे पूरे सेशन में सबसे पहले हम शुरू करने वाले हैं कि सैंपल पेपर जो टर्म 2 का रिलीज हुआ है बाय सीबीएसई, व्हाट इट हैज फॉर अस इन इट, कि उसके अंदर ऐसा क्या है जो हमें सीखना है, जो देखना है. तो अगर आप लोगों ने अभी तक सैंपल पेपर नहीं देखा है, दिस इज द बेस्ट टाइम टू एक्चुअली व्यू द सैंपल पेपर, ताकि वी गेट टू नो व्हाट इज वेटिंग फॉर अस ऑन द अदर एंड ऑफ द एग्जामिनेशन सेंटर. सो टर्म 2 का सैंपल पेपर रिलीज होते ही आइडियली सीबीएसई ने एक हॉलमार्क कर दिया है कि एग्जाम्स हो रहे हैं, बिकॉज स्टूडेंट्स वर वेरी स्केप्टिक एंड इवन वेरी होपफुल कि इस बार एग्जाम्स नहीं होंगे और लास्ट ईयर की तरह हमारे ऐसे ही रिजल्ट आ जाएगा, which was not the very great way of looking forward, because आज नहीं तो कल एग्जाम्स हमें फेस करने ही है. तो दिस इज वन वे कि सीबीएसई ने फॉरवर्ड कर दिया है कि हायर एजुकेशन विल नॉट बी टेकन फॉर ग्रांटेड. तो सैंपल पेपर रिलीज होते ही दैट वाज 100% कि एग्जाम्स आर गोइंग टू बी देयर एंड दे आर गोइंग टू बी ऑफलाइन एंड सब्जेक्टिव. सो ये दोनों ही चीजें हमारे लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. सैंपल पेपर के थ्रू हमारे पास इंफॉर्मेशन है. Then we are going to look for the roadmap or the strategy to prepare for exams in the last week of April. तो April के एकदम end में हमारे exams हैं. But अभी भी अगर ऐसा लग रहा है कि we have a lot many days, so we will just actually put some light कि कितना time है और हम कितना time spend कर सकते हैं अभी भी कैसे prepare करने में. How to attempt this examination. सब्जेक्टिव पेपर लिखे हुए काफी बच्चों को 1 से 2 साल हो चुके हैं. लाइक इट हैज बीन अ एरा ऑफ द टाइम हैज बीन लाइक कि हम लोगों को लिखने की प्रैक्टिस भी नहीं रही है. द एग्जाम्स क्या, द स्कूलिंग वाज आल्सो ऑनलाइन, सो एवरीथिंग वाज क्वाइट ऑफ द टेबल. नाउ वी हैव टू कम बैक टू दैट थिंग जो हमें पहले भी आदत थी. नाउ वी हैव टू गेट बैक कि कैसे आंसर्स लिखने. एंड नॉट टू मिस दिस पॉइंट, सीबीएसई हैज गॉन थ्रू मेनी चेंजेस ओवर दिस एरा. CBSE itself had actually made itself from rote knowledge to application based. तो उस शिफ्ट में जो CBSE लेकर आया है, हमें कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है, एग्जाम कैसे लिखना है. There will be tips and tricks for sure and discussion on the important and difficult topics if there is any that will we will have an open discussion कि अगर कोई doubt हो, कोई problem हो, तो you are most welcome to ask your things, right? So let's start with this thing from the very first thing, course structure. Hamara this year, because we are a special batch, you can actually consider this way. This year, things have been very dynamic. COVID scenario was not exactly what we had on the plate. हमें बिल्कुल नहीं पता था थर्ड वेव कहाँ तक जाने वाली है, स्कूल्स कब खुलेंगे, there was no idea. इन सारी कंफ्यूजन में सबसे बड़ा कंफ्यूजन था एग्जाम्स का. तो उस कंफ्यूजन में सीबीएसई ने लास्ट टू लास्ट ईयर जो कंफ्यूजन करी थी, कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट का सोल्यूशन निकाला था कि दिस ईयर कोविड वाज सो मच इफेक्टिव कि हम लोगों ने स्कूल बिल्कुल ही अटेंड नहीं किया था. सो the marks were given according to the overall performance and the students were promoted. This year, this decision was not the way. Exams हुए, term 1 and term 2 में CBSE ने divide करा and the syllabus has been divided. So initially, actually देखा जाए तो this is the exact thing that we used to follow earlier, that we say as formative assessment, summative assessment. That is how the structure has been divided in two terms where the whole syllabus was rationalized as well as divided. Now, जब मैं rationalized की बात करती हूँ तो syllabus काफी हद तक कम कर दिया गया. To be precise in numbers, 33%. This is what we have got. 33% has been reduced in most of my subjects. From science, as I am from science background, मेरे सारे ही subjects, physics, chemistry, bio, have been reduced by 1 or 1.5 chapter. So that has actually reduced the load of the students, which was a good move, taking care कि COVID situation में schooling was not 100%. Now term 1 we all are already have faced, and that was the MCQ, जिसमें बच्चों ने कुछ नया experience करा. Many people liked it. Many people actually faced its repercussions because या तो MCQ में 0 होता है या 1 होता है. There was no gray mark. But subjective paper, that is the term 2, which we are looking forward for the examination in April. This is again opening new opportunities for us. तो जिन्होंने बिल्कुल लिखना छोड़ दिया, now this is the time that they start writing things. So हमारे term 2 के syllabus में this year we have chemical substances, nature and behavior, जिसमें 2 chapters हैं, carbon and its compounds and periodic table. This is for my.
Sorry to interrupt. Can we please only communicate in English because a lot of messages are coming?
Sir, actually, I asked that at the very beginning and I got thumbs down and thumbs down.
No, please.
Fine, so let's keep it in English. No worries. Thank you very much for telling me that. Okay, so as we were talking about term 2 syllabus, as we gone, chemistry has 2 chapters, which is already rationalized. Hence, the marking is very less for chemistry, that is 10 marks. Now, there is a confusion for this also, which topic is included or which is not. Kindly check, always refer to your NCERT. That is one tip that I will give. Your NCERT will be referred to as your Bible. So whatever is in the syllabus till the topic which is mentioned in the curriculum, we have to be focusing on them. For your biology, there are 3 chapters, 2 from the world of living unit and 1 from natural resources. This term 2 is biology heavy. This is made in a very important manner that when you are writing a subjective paper, biology is going to be your most important scoring point. So that is why there are 3 chapters and total scoring of biology for term 2 is 18 marks. Talking about physics, there are only 2 chapters, that is from the unit of effects of current, that is chapter 12 and chapter 13. So we have this as a whole structure for my term 2. Now this is not whole, right? Let's just get and break up this. We know the marks distribution. Now, as I already told you, this was the earlier approach of many of the schools as well, formative assessment, summative assessment. So right now, these 2 have been divided as term 1 and term 2, and the marks are equally divided. So no one exam is heavier or lower. So if any student is out there whose term 1 didn't go very well, this is their opportunity. For the ones term 1 has gone good, term 2 will make your percentage to the point where you want to see yourself. So both of them were divided by 40 marks each of written and 10 marks each of internal assessment, totaling to 50 each. and 50 plus 50, we are getting the total marks out of 100. Now, this is a very big question that I have been receiving from my students over the time, whether term 1 result will be out or not. Now, this is my personal opinion that term 1 result will not be out yet till the time, because term 2 and term 1 combined result will make your 100%, and that will be important for all the students, whether your term 1 went very well or not. Now, talking about science theory, it is 80 marks, 40 plus 40, and internal assessment 20.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.
The internal assessment, which is of 10 marks, is important for all the teachers out there and for the students as well, because this will be making a percentage of 10% for your term 2 overall. Talking about how it is divided, there are periodic assessment, which according to CBSE, there has to be at least 3 PTs. PT stands for periodic test that the school conducts over the year. So these 3 marks for 3 PTs has to be. If you are conducting as a school, if the teachers are conducting more PTs, they can choose best 3. Now it depends on the decision of the school. Second is the multiple assessment. Multiple assessment and portfolio can be mingled up dependent on individual teachers, how they want to give marks to the students. It depends whether their performance overall over the year, their notebook maintenance, their response in the class or their project work, they can go into both of these categories, which is in total 4 marks. Subject enrichment, which is the practical work, is of 3 marks, and there are 3 practicals that you have to be looking for term 2. So in this course, you get 10 marks total, out of which your teacher internally decide. Now for grade 10, I guess everybody got that information that CBSE have just announced that this will be a practical, this year the practical exam will be conducted by the internal teachers itself. So no external teacher for grade 10 will be coming. So it is a discretion of the teachers how they want to conduct the exam and score their students. So this all is for grade 10. For grade 12, there is an external examiner will be conducting the same. Now talking about sample paper, as I've started my session, it is very important to check the sample paper because it gives us an insight that what we have to look for, what CBSE is going to put as the level, what is they going to check, the understanding, the application, the comprehension, what is it? So looking out the term 2 sample paper is very important, and not just the sample paper, the marking scheme as well. I'll tell you why is it so. When you look at the sample paper, looking at the questions, 2 things are very, very important to understand. The paper is subjective, we all know that. But what kind of questions are expected to come? The questions will not be based on rote knowledge. It is definitely and 100% application based. You cannot learn and just throw that there in the examination hall. You have to be looking at what is exactly being asked, how I have to apply my knowledge into it. And I'll come to this point as well, how this is being designed. The paper has been designed by CBSE. Now, why I said looking at the marking scheme is as important as looking at the sample paper, because it is going to give us exact knowledge how much is how much is really important to write in the paper. Like when I talk about it's a 3 marks question, we generally think it should be a paragraph or at least 4 to 5 points. That is what we believe. The marking scheme gives us exactly how much answer is apt. You can go beyond a little, but if you are writing too much in that question, you are actually taking time out of other questions, which is we don't have. This year, we have a 40 marks paper of 90 minutes with 10 to 15 minutes extra to read the question paper. Kindly invest that 15 minutes very wisely to prioritize your questions, which you are going to answer, right? Now, talking about this, there are lots of things in the marking scheme and there might be some errors. Here, I'll come back to Goyal Brothers Prakashan Score Plus, that they have taken care of the errors and they have made sure that the sample paper and the marking scheme are given in the book in the apt manner. So you can just go and check that out. Now, talking about sample paper and marking scheme, this is the critical analysis after going through the whole sample paper, which I got, which I've already gave you a bit of information that this year, chemistry will be of 10 marks. Physics is of 12 marks, out of which there are 2 chapters, and biology is of 18 marks with 3 chapters. Now, all of these, when I went through the sample paper, at least it gives me an information that how many choices I can expect in the exam. So there are internal choices given in the sample paper for each question, not each question, I'm so sorry. For most of the questions, citing here, chemistry has 1 internal choice. So 2 chapters, 10 marks with 1 internal choice. This leaves us that we cannot leave any page unturned, right? Talking about the second one, which is physics, there are 3 internal choices, which is a great way of looking at it, because in physics, you will be expecting numericals and you will be expecting concept application. In this, you have 3 internal choices. That means even if I stuck at one of the concept or I'm not able to get the answer, I still have a second chance to attempt it. That means there are 3 choices. That is an amazing thing which is given for physics. Talking about biology, again, there are 3 choices which are internal choices, one in the case and other in the 2 of the questions given in the topics. Talking about the whole sample paper, the analysis has led me, there are 3 sections. Section A, 2 marker questions. Section B, 3 marker question. And section C, which are 4 marker question, which is nothing but your case-based question. Now, this case-based question, which was there also in the MCQ type of paper, that is term 1, was there. But there is a difference. And the difference lies at that moment, it was MCQ, multiple choice. This time, the case-based question is not multiple choice, rather it is subjective in nature. And for both physics and biology, there is one case-based question arising. Talking about it, the 1 choice, that is 3 and 3 choices in physics and biology, that 1 choice both have in the case-based question. So ideally, case-based question is divided as 1 + 1 + 2. 3 questions are there and there are 2 internal choices for each of bio and physics. Talking about section B, which is 3 markers, there are total number of 6 questions and there are 2 choices in this. So I am telling you 1 choice is definitely for physics because the numerical will come in 3 markers. For section A, it is 2 marker. There are 7 questions and number of internal choices are 3 for chemistry, for bio and physics, each one of them. Now, if you have ever checked on the site of CBSE, you might have seen such kind of a table given there that what they are looking for. They give us a roadmap. The roadmap given by CBSE is that they are going to check the demonstration of knowledge and understanding, not what you know, but how you are going to demonstrate what you know or your understanding is important. Writing definition is a thing of past. Now it is how much you can apply the same knowledge. Talking about application, it is 22% of the paper. 22% is application based. Case based is a perfect example of applying what you know, because they are not going to directly ask you a question. They are not going to be picked from 5 years PYQs. They are made so that whether what you learned, can you apply to real life situations? If you're given a condition, can you apply the same knowledge? That is what is checked. Analyze, evaluate, and create, which is 32%, which is very critical because this is the next level. Next level is, this is the last step of Bloom's taxonomy. If you have gone through it, that when a person can know, analyze, and finally apply and create, that is the last level of like looking for learning, the highest level for them. So this is 32%. So neither of these are going to be helpful by rotting knowledge. But obviously demonstration knowledge and understanding, which is 46%, will be the base how much you know. Now talking about this year, one thing is very, very critical that I'm going to come for biology that you might see if you have checked the sample paper, and that would be numericals are not bound to just physics. This year, biology also has numericals, and that's a different way of looking at biology.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Duty and avail your courses at affordable prices.
Let me just tell you how you will be preparing. To prepare for demonstrating knowledge and understanding, theory and concepts. Along with, I'll add one thing here, and which are formula. Now, if you are attempting your paper and physics numerical is coming and I'm confused with one of the formula, I'm actually losing the basic knowledge only. So this is what we have to be very, very confident about: the theory, the concept and the formula. For 46%, this has to be done. Where to do from? Your NCERT is your Bible. So start from there. Read to your next is your exemplar. Next is, if you can pick any of the Goyal brothers books where you can do like I have seen Goyal brothers have a very nice book where they actually give you lots of practice of case-based question, lots of practice of understanding or attempting these kind of problems that are there in the sample paper. So you can definitely attempt that. So NCERT, exemplar, and then one reference book which you may choose on your own, right? So this is what you have to follow. Never miss on this. Application of knowledge and concept, which is 22%, will be case studies. So practice of case studies is must, that too subjective, not the multiple choice. Numerical, the more, the better. Jitni practice ho jayegi, utna zyada acha hai. That is how we always look. Numericals is something nobody can teach you कि ये numerical ऐसे ही होगा. The more you practice, the better grasp you get over it. Talking about recognition, determination of process and implementation, this is going to be very important in your biology part, because as I've checked the sample paper, heredity, looking for how the organisms or what will happen, that is a very good question that is coming and you have to be prepared. Not the same, but similar kind of question you can expect in your exam. And analyze, evaluate, and create. This is the last 32%, which is B, to look for how to attempt for multiple questions. Okay? Let's go to the tricks to apply to each of the subjects differently. Now, when I talk about physics, one of the problem I get from student is, ma'am, numerical solve nahi hoti. That is one of the most common problem, which I have seen not just in 9th, 10th, 11th, even 12th. The most common thing, how to go for the numerical. So just do these basic things. First thing, do not try to rot. CBSE have raised their level, hence you have to. Your future is looking ki you will be going for many of the competitive exam. None of the competitive exam is on rot knowledge. They always see how well your foundation is, how solid your foundation is, how good your concept is, and how well you can change or mold it to apply it. That is what is your point number one, which is very important. Do not just think that if I know a formula, I can do a numerical. If you know the formula, that's the very basic of it. But do you know the concept behind it? Do you know the science behind it? How to change it if the condition of the question is changing? That is what is checked. There is a way of writing numericals. Don't create a mess. Do not think I'll write everywhere and this will help me. Rather, it will not help me in any way, because forget about the examiner. It will confuse me at the latter part when I'm going to revise the paper or recheck the paper, what I was trying to say at what step. So there is always a way of writing a numerical. To give you a very, very important tip here, MCQ paper and subjective paper. If I give you a choice, I know most of the students will go, ma'am, MCQ paper was easier. It was easy to attempt. But talking about your subjective paper, it gives you an advantage over MCQ that you have a gray area. Now that's where the marking scheme comes in. For any and each of the numerical out there, your marks are divided. Let's say you have a 3-marker question. How the marks are divided? 1 marks will be given to you if you write the given correctly, 2 find, and 1.5 marks will be total if you write the formula also correct. So without even starting to solve my problem, I'll secure 1.5 marks if I write the given, 2 find, and the formula. Now, if these 3 steps are accurate, then later part becomes easier for me to score as well, and even for the examiner to get to the point. So do not create a mess in the paper. Do write everything what you are getting from the paper. Numericals, be very, very careful. Always write given, to find, and the formula. Even if you forget the formula, do write given and to find. You'll get 1 marks. That is like just interpreting the knowledge given in the question, and you are getting marks for that. Do not leave that for anything. Always take care of the units. That is also a very important thing. Copying incorrect data is something like a biggest mistake we do when we are in a mind that I have to do everything quickly. This is where we go wrong. Always read it calmly and write it. That is what is important. And please be extra careful with units. Physics without units is maths. You're not giving a maths paper, you're giving a physics paper. So be very, very careful about it. Right? Let's go to the next subject, which is chemistry. Now, chemistry, your periodic table is there. So what you need to do, you do not have to learn the periodic table, rather know the properties and how they are periodic in nature. That is what the kind of question you will be expecting in your exam. They're not going to ask you, tell me this, tell me that, this property of fluorine or this property of neon. They are giving you a fiction element, and they're going to ask you that if this shows this, and this property, where should it lie? This is the kind of preparation you should be, not learning, but knowing and then applying. Talking about carbon and its compound, it is very important you know the properties as well, where it forms, which kind of compounds, very, very important. So please be very, very careful with not learning, but knowing how to apply. So this is the 46%. There is nowhere it was written that the direct question will be asked you, okay, tell me what is the property of helium. Tell me what is carbon having. No, they're not going to ask this. They're going to ask by giving you examples, citing you some kind of a situation, how you're going to deal with it, right? So this is for chemistry. And when I come for biology, as I already told you, this time bio is going to give you a bit of a hiccup because numericals. The one thing which were copyright of physics earlier, now biology also have them. So you need to be very, very careful, because questions are not going to come directly. What is the hereditary approach or what is the effect of heredity? No, they're going to give you examples. If I have this, and they made, what is going to happen? So human reproduction is one of the part of it. Please take care that mind maps in biology helps you a lot. Because if you have all the points, all the dots, and you connect them right, then it is the best point to move forward. So ये heredity के questions definitely आएंगे. Definitely you have to be practicing this, and again I'm giving you to practice. NCERT will not be enough. NCERT is your Bible to follow the syllabus, because there's nothing that is going to come out of the syllabus other than NCERT. Exemplar is its own reference book, hence you cannot leave it behind. But to practice these questions, which the sample paper has come along, this is what we are expecting this year, the application based, you have to have a book you can wow on, right? So this is one thing that you need to practice on. Food chain is also one of the questions that is seen in the sample paper, which is very, what do you say, not directly again. It is an indirect way of asking you what will happen if this. So there are situational questions. These are conditional questions which you have to be applying the knowledge which you know. So do not believe or do not stick to rotting, but understanding it, right?
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.
Now talking about how to prepare. Now today is 7th of March and our first exam as per CBSE is going to start from 26th of April. So ideally 50 days are left in my hand. Now for all those students who think we have a lot of time, please wake up. We had, now we don't have. 50 days is good enough to prepare well, but it is not going to be, okay, we will do it tomorrow. That is one of the biggest mistakes you are going to do if you are still going to leave it for tomorrow. Yeah, let's do it. Ho jayega. Don't do that. It's 50 days. And you have how many subjects to prepare? If I give you, it's English, it's Hindi or your language, maths. Then you're talking about physics, chemistry, bio. Even in social science, you have 3 different branches. You have to start preparing now. Now, how much time you will be ready to devote now? That depends on you, and that will decide your preparation mode. Now, I'll give you one example. Okay, a very simple example. First of all, divide your 50 days into 2 blocks, 40 days and 10 days. Fine. I've just divided. Very simple maths, 40 plus 10 is 50, divided. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to divide my preparation and revision time. Right now, these 40 days are going to be in my hand. Even if I have not studied at all, these 40 days are good enough for me to do everything. If I have studied, this 40 days is giving me an edge that I can go through the syllabus once more, once again, and that is going to be super helpful. So 40 days out of this 50 is my preparation time. 10 days is for revision. So just before that exam, that last week, your revision time is very crucial. Even then, that 10 days, I'll say 1 week is revision and 3 days is particularly for the first exam you have on 26th. So make sure you prioritize your things, how you are going to plan. For the while, if I say you should start studying now, 50 days, 40 days, cutting down the 10 days of revision, 40 days, I'll suggest 4 hours per day, per subject, you need to be devoted. 4 hours, okay? 4 hours is something that if you're devoting every day, and honestly, not just sitting there, keeping a book in front of you, honestly, if you're devoting, this 4 hours is going to be really helpful, changing your result from where you are seeing till now to where you can approach. For this, if I'm talking about 4 hours for each of the subject, how you're going to do? Day 1 and 2, you should be reading your NCERT. That is one thing that I have been saying from the start of the webinar till now. NCERT is the Bible. You cannot miss it. Why? Because this is the thing CBSE is always sticking to. They were never going to ask anything beyond the syllabus, but they never said they're not going to ask you the application of the same thing. So कोई ऐसा concept नहीं होगा जो CBSE में mention नहीं है, but they will be asking question how to apply. So read your NCERT and read it not absent-mindedly, understand it, because that is the only way our paper is going to be. Day 3 to 4, for each of the subject I'm saying, practice NCERT in-text question and NCERT exemplar. The second thing that I have said, exemplar is your reference book of CBSE itself. You cannot miss on it. Practice it. The in-text question will give you how much you are understanding. Wherever you are stucking, this is the point where you go back to your NCERT, read it again, and actually figure out, okay, this is the point I did not understand yet. Day 5, practice small answer or short answers, long answers, very long answers from your PYQs. Now here I am actually referring that CBSE have raised the level, but referring to the previous year questions, you get a very good insight, and this is the practice time. So while you are practicing, you are writing, and if you are writing, you are getting into the habit. अगर अभी भी लिखना शुरू नहीं करोगे and you're left for the exam itself to go to write the paper, you're not doing good to yourself. So make sure you're practicing writing, how to write a short answer, a long answer, stick to the word limits, do not go too beyond. If it is a 3-mark question, there will be 3 to 5 points, not more than that, right? And then the mock tests. The sample paper is in front of us, but how these questions are going to juggle up, you do not know how they are shuffled, how the questions are coming, which questions are coming. So going for mock test give you an insight. Okay, these type of question can come in case based. These type of questions can come in numerical. Because if you are getting the case based from physics and biology, what all concepts can come as case based, you will get an insight of that, right? Then this is the 6th day for each subject. Make sure you are focusing yourself on the concepts, on the numerical and the practice. Without practice, nothing is going to help you. Nobody is going to write your paper, only you are going to do. So practice is the key for it. These 40 days are crucial with 4 hours a day. If you reduce this, your day length will increase. Your 6-day task will become a 12 to 15-day task. If you increase this, you can reduce the day task from 6 to 4. Now, it all depends on you, how much time you are able to or want to devote it, right? So this is one of the plan that I have. As I have given you, if you reduce it to 2 hours per day, your things remain same, but your time will increase. So definitely, depending on your capability and how much you can push yourself, make that time choice. I'm not going to give you this is the plan, but this is the way. This is in your hand, how much time you are going to devote, right? Now I'm going to give you just 2 more things, and then I'm going to take the doubts. As I can see, there are some hand raised. Please give me 5 more minutes, people here. There are some things to avoid before the exam. See, there are some things to really not do. So there are things that everybody tells us, ye kar lo, wo kar lo. But there are things that no, people tell us, ye to bilkul mat karna. So this is what we have to focus on. One thing, ye bilkul mat karna ki pad lenge. Ho jayega. Putting off studies for the last minute is the biggest mistake you are doing, because nobody is going to come and help you. Nobody is going to come and help you in that. Over cramming the night before the exam is not the thing to do. मैं एक रात पूरा पढ़ लूंगा, next day I will be able to do. No, your brain cells will not be helping you there. Now, why I'm saying so, students, when you are writing the exam, you know, those 1.5 hours is going to be the time. So I'll just cite a statement like there was a movie, right? Check the India. Just citing that 70 minutes match. So only that 70 minutes count for you. For you students, 90 minutes is the exam time, and that what you do in that 90 minutes will count, right? So if you cram before the exam, what will happen in that 90 minutes? Your brain will not be in the best of its state. That means you could have done better, but you couldn't because you were not getting proper sleep. So please go for your exam with a calm mind and make sure that you are sitting there with open mind. Do not let your mind close on you for those 90 minutes. That is the best thing you can do with yourself. Do not compare your preparation. This is one of the mistakes we all do, calling our friends one night or 1 week ahead and asking how much you have prepared. Her or his marks is not going to change your result. This is not percentile. You are getting your own percentage. Why to compare? Why we want this consolation that if he or she has not prepared, then okay, I can also not prepare. Or if he and she has done 2-time revision, then so I cannot do, let it be. We are looking for excuses. Don't look for these excuses. Don't ask anybody, not even just before exam. Forget it. What you have done, you have done. Do your best for that. Not talking care. And please, please, please do not go for a new book. This is the time you can go for a book. At the last moment, if you're picking 3 books, okay, she has done from Arihant. Oh my God, she has picked up that book, or she has done that book. She might get good marks because of that. No. All the books have practice questions for you. Do not go for a new best friend looking at the end moment. Stick to what you know and have trust, have faith over this. And please never be late for the exam, because that again brings your brain to anxiety level, which is not going to help you while you're performing in that 90 minutes. So ye choti tips, very small tips, but these help at the very end point of it.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.
Now, while this is before exam, while doing the exam, what we have to be focusing on? Reading the question paper carefully. In the extra 15 minutes, this is the one thing that everybody is making sure. If you're not making it sure, you're doing a mistake that you might do a silly mistake while attempting one of the questions. Do not do that. Avoid thinking too much about one question. Let's say if I know a question and I got stuck, we'll have a time limit to spend on it. If I am not getting it, okay, I'll revisit it at the end. I'll review it at the end, but not giving it too much time, because then I am pushing all the time of my other questions for it, which is not good. Talking about how to write it, do not try to use very heavy words. Yes, in science, technical words matter, but try to stick to the in easy language. What you understand while reading will be understood by the examiner as well. Write the formula and draw the diagram wherever is needed. That makes your paper more presentable and even put a very good repo in front of the examiner, which is actually good. If you think it does not matter, it does. How you present your paper does. But I'm not saying decorate your paper. I'm just saying keep it neat, keep it clean, keep it precise, crisp, but wherever you can make it presentable by the formulas, drawing the diagrams, do that. And please do not waste your time here and there. Uska kya, iska kya, isse kya, waisa kya. Forget about it. Do your own thing. That's it. That's it on my end. There are lots of things that I would have gone over forever, but I know you guys are very smart, and I believe that together with hard work and smart work, you can actually ace anything. So do that. Do not miss on that. So here we are meeting right now. There are, I said, as we will have a discussion of where you are finding it difficult, This is the time I'm opening the discussion. Now I'll answer any of the question that is there in the raised hand. Please, I'll ask you. And if there is anything else, you can even send your queries and the suggestions on marketing@goyalbooks.com. Right? Now, there's anything that I can actually look for? Yes.
Yeah, so we'll welcome the doubts now. You can either write the doubts in the chat box. So we'll take the doubts for next 5 minutes as of now.
Yes. So if there's any doubt, please send your doubts in the chat box. That way it will
I
be
guess, ma'am, you
more.
made everything so much clear. It was everything was so crystal clear. So I really doubt there'll be any doubts. Just let's wait for. Yeah, we will not be unmuting because there are students in the link. So we will be only letting the chat box on. So whosoever is having doubts, they can put the doubts in the chat box.
This meeting will go on for another 5 minutes for your doubts. And yes, I've got it. How to prepare on the weekdays. So for weekdays, you can schedule, like I have given you 2 schedules for 2 hours a day and 4 hours a day. Then your schedule may vary to 2 to 4 hours, depending on how tired you are, when you are getting free from school. But this is the time you have to put in the hard work. So we make time for things which are really important. So prioritize study at this time. Please make sure you're doing that. Okay. Shyam, I hope I answered your question out there. Okay. Ma'am, how can we do our exam before time so that we can check? So students, to do your exam before time, if you want to do that, try at least 5 mock tests before going to the exam. Okay. Now, this is not just checking your knowledge. This is checking your time management. These are the 2 important things while writing the exam. How well you present your paper and how quickly you can complete your paper with reviewing it. Now, for that, practicing at least 5 mock test papers. So if you see even the Goyal Brothers Prakashan book have those 5 mock test paper, I'll suggest go for each one of them for each of the subject. Now, why is it so? For 1 and 2 paper, you will be actually getting a feel of how to write the answer. From 3rd paper, you will start managing your time. So actually practice is the key, not just for the numerical thing. Practice is not just, I practice one thing. Practice is an art for acing anything. So if you want to ace time management, you will be looking forward that how you are going to actually write the answer and how much time. So a 3 marker, like I'll give always an example for a 3 marker numerical question, you must spend 3 to 5 minutes at most. Look at the watch while from the 3rd mock test paper, how much time you're devoting for each question. If there is something more time you're devoting to one of the question or the other, you will have to manage that. And that's how till the time you reach the 5th paper, you will know, okay, now this is the exact time I will be devoting. How? Out of 90 minutes, I'll take 30 or 20 minutes to revise. That depends on how thorough review you want to give your paper. Then your paper is not of 90 minutes. You yourself will say my paper is of 1 hour and I'll complete my paper in 1 hour. So practice is the key, right? I hope that is also the point that is clear to you. Yes. I have a question that how to consistent with our studies. Consistency comes with practice again. So I don't know, you have, see, there are 2 techniques that I've gone through in my life as well. For the students, I always suggest. One is called Pomodoro technique. That is, whenever you study for 25 minutes. So into the paper, into the thing, whatever you're studying, that nothing else matters. Keep your phone aside. That is the biggest distraction we have nowadays, right? After 25 minutes, give yourself 5-minute rewards. Then again back, because that is the maximum attention span of our brain. That is one of the techniques. Any consistency come with practice, but practice over a time. You might have heard that anything can become a habit if you practice the same thing for 21 days. So for 21 days, push yourself to that point that you can study and you will. That is how you can actually bring your things to the betterment. I'm not saying that this is going to be life changing, but this is going to make your life easier and better, right? Do that, Ashna. Okay, thank you very much.
I'm really sorry to disturb you. I'm really sorry to interrupt in between, but we are short of time because we have the next webinar also.
Sure,
so I'll cut the webinar over here only. I know the webinar was so excellent and the delivery was so precise. As people are really intrigued to talk to you and they're really interested in getting to know more about things. But due to time constraints, we'll just hold it here itself.
Sure.
And whatever doubts people have further, we can definitely, you can mail your doubts, and we will definitely try to get back to you as soon as possible for that.
Sure. Right. So you have the mail ID. Kindly mail your doubts and the team will get back to you. Thank you very much for your time. It was really, really amazing to get connected with everyone.
Thank you for participating in this webinar.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at Rs 1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows three-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.